Think back to a time when it felt like nobody cared about you. About a time when it felt like there were forces beyond your control that were working against you and there was no one there to help. Think about a time when you were stuck in the middle of an argument and you were all alone. And hold on to that feeling, because every year, too many kids in Champaign County feel exactly that way. But there's something you can do about it. Today, you have the opportunity, the chance to help a kid stop feeling afraid and alone. And I urge you to take that chance. Today, I'm going to be telling you about Champaign County Court-Appointed Special Advocates, our local chapter of CASA, and all the wonderful work they do. I'll be telling you about the problems that kids face when they're in court systems, about what special advocates do to help, and finally what you can do to help through donating to CASA. Our court systems are overworked with high caseloads all around. Family cases involving children are often very complicated, as there are multiple sides to each story, conflicting interests, and buried information. Judges and lawyers involved simply don't have the time to investigate deeply enough to figure out what environment is really better for the child. They can't visit homes and talk to everyone. Kids are afraid to just tell them what they want and what would be best. They're afraid their parents will be mad if they say something, afraid they might not love them anymore. Or kids are just simply too young to understand what's happening to them. 36% of the children that CASA helped in Champaign County this year were under the age of 6, meaning that they were too young to understand the situation they'd been thrown into. But the court has to determine the fate of these children every day as it decides where they'll live and who they'll live with. When the court makes this decision based on too little information, too often it makes the wrong decision. And so children are returned to verbally abusive parents, physically abusive parents, or go into neglectful foster homes when there is a fit parent that wants them. Our court systems on their own don't always yield the best outcomes for children. In 2015, a study found that 46% of children that were reunited to a once neglectful or abusive parent were re-abused within 2 years. And another study found that in half of the cases where children returned to parents, the situation at home had not improved or had even worsened, meaning that our court systems regularly send children back to homes already deemed unfit. When children return to bad homes, it leads to bad things for them. It leads to a higher rate of failure to thrive, higher rate of self-harm, and more risky and delinquent behaviors than those that remain in state care. This is bad for children, and it's bad for our society as a whole. It leads to more kids committing crimes in our neighborhoods, more kids spending more time in juvenile detention centers than in school, which leads to less educated voters and bad democracy later in life. It leads to higher medical costs as abusive situations and self-harm lead to medical emergencies. But these problems are fixable. These problems are fixable through programs like CASA that go into courts. CASA in our county was formed by Circuit Court Judge John DeLamar because he was worried that children's fates were being decided by judges with too little information. So he invited volunteers into his courts to act as independent investigators for the judges. These volunteer advocates don't pick sides, and their only goal is to figure out what will be best for the child. They work a few cases at a time, which gives them the time to deeply investigate what's going on in the child's life by visiting homes, interviewing teachers, going to court hearings, and listening to children about their experiences in person. Their goal is to prevent the courts from returning children to unfit homes and abusive situations. Their goal is also to keep children that have fit homes being able to be returned. But their biggest job is to make a recommendation directly to the judge about what they think would be best for the child. And largely, judges make their decision based on this recommendation. 2 studies in the 1990s found that giving a child a special court advocate yielded similarly high results as giving them their own lawyer to help their case. This was because the advocates were able to look at the interpersonal aspects going on in the child's life and effectively relay this to the judge. Advocates are also able to reduce the amount of time that children spend in out-of-care home situations, like group homes, another study found. The study found also that children with special advocates have fewer placement changes, meaning they're shuffled around from home to home less times. This leads to a decrease in the instability in the child's life because they're moving around less. Advocates were created to help judges make better decisions. And so it's important to decide, what do judges think they're making better decisions? And judges do think they're making better decisions. 96% of judges surveyed thought that the amount of information that they were given by court advocates was significantly new and helpful in making their decision, with 46% saying that the information they were given by the advocate that was a breakthrough in the case. But we agree that they're a good thing, but why is it our responsibility to do something about it? Why do we need to donate today? We take care of our kids, so why can't someone else take care of these kids? The reason that we have to do it is because everyone else is asking that same exact question, but they lack the agency or the financial means to do anything. Here, though, we have an opportunity. We have the opportunity to help kids who don't understand that something else was more pressing. We have the opportunity to help not only kids, but help our own community by helping build up the future of our kids, to build up our community. The News-Gazette recently reported that CASA is expanding by adding more coordinators. They're trying to help every single child that needs them, because currently they can't. This requires money, though. With as little as $500, we could help one of the more than 350 children that CASA currently serves for more than 6 months. And if you don't have $500, you can donate anything and it'll snowball into more. This makes a real and tangible difference in children's lives, while also helping our society as a whole. When kids feel more stable and where they are, they act out less, leading to less crime in our neighborhoods and less delinquent behavior. It also leads to less crime and delinquency in our schools. Kids act out what they see at home when they get to school, and this makes for a worse learning environment for everyone's children. So by helping other children, you're helping your own as well. It also leads to less emergency room visits for children, which leads to less of a bill footed by the taxpayer when these kids are in state care. So it's lowering your taxes as well to help them. So in conclusion, when we look at what CASA does and all the wonderful work it does, we see that it is our responsibility to help today. CASA provides a better future for children by providing better information to judges when making decisions, and that leads to more stable home placements for children over the long run, which leads to healthier and happier children and a better world for everyone. So please, help CASA by going to casaforkids.org and say yes to kids by donating anything you can. And ask yourself this: what if it was your child that needed help?